Hey friends and fellow crafters, welcome to the craft. DM Scotty here. Today we're going to do a lizard camp, and I was working on it for my game, and I wanted to add some objects that would give some flavor to the camp. So I did a few different objects, and we're going to do that in this video. So let's hit the table and start working on that lizard man camp. Hey guys, I wanted to make a lean-to, so I scored some cardboard to make it look like boards, distressed the edge a little bit, and then put a coffee stick across as a support. So now I'm going to add some detail on here with the glue gun. I want these to look like rough boards, right? And the same with the toothpicks. These are going to be stands for the lean-to, but I want the toothpicks to be a bit rough, not just the nice hewn wood that you might find in a more civilized, quotation mark, settlement. So we'll just put that on there. Get those all ready. And those rough those up a little bit so they're just not totally nice looking. Look more like sticks. Okay, now I'm going to start gluing them on. So just hold it for a few until the hot glue sets. And do the other side. And these will make some great lean-tos. So now I'm going to reinforce those a little bit with some extra hot glue. Blend it in. Make sure you blend it in. Nice. Okay, now I want to make the base. So I'm going to use some thin cardboard and just trace around my lean-to here. And cut it roughly out. And then I'll just glue it on there with the hot glue. Looking good. Just hold it for a sec. Then I'm going to start filling in the base a bit because I want to make it look like rough ground and not just a piece of cardboard, right? And I'll just add some extra glue to make sure it's secure on the base. There we go. Nice and rough. Make those posts look like they're stuck into the ground. Clip the excess off. Add a little dab on the top to round the stick. And then I'm going to start doing some hot glue on the top so it's not just flat cardboard, right? It'll have some texture on it. Just pull the hot glue gun across the top there. But we're going to add another detail, so I'm not too concerned with it. Now I'm going to cover up the corrugations of the cardboard with the edge of the tip of the hot glue gun. Looking good, looking good. All right. Now I've got some pencil shavings, and I love these. I love using these pencil shavings. So I've just got some 50% glue, 50% water, and I'm going to soak it, saturate the pencil shavings with the glue and water. Get it to a nice slushy consistency. Blend it up with your brush. Make sure you don't let the glue dry on the brush. Now I'm going to add some of this slush to the base. And then I'm going to add most of it to the back of the lean-to. Because I want it to look kind of like, they would be close to the earth, and I want it to kind of look like, growing moss, on this lean-to. So I thought that'd be really cool to do that with this, with the pencil shavings, the slushy of pencil shavings. There we go. Just apply it, and we'll let it dry up. Cool. Now we'll move on to the next project. Hey crafters, I thought it might be nice to add some extra details to the Lizard Man camp, and I came up with this totem, right? So the head I just cut out a foam core and then added the details with a ballpoint pen. I stuck a toothpick through it to give it some support. The base, the log, is just a smaller size toilet paper roll that I sized and glued together. Then I covered it with glue-soaked toilet paper and let that dry. Then I added some details with the points on the bottom there with some craft foam, just some throwaway craft foam. And the moss there is just from pencil shavings. So the bottom here I just used a washer and covered it with hot glue. So that gave a nice sturdy base and keeps it upright. I thought it might be nice to do like a drying fishing rack too. So I cut these little fishies out of paper And then did a similar thing that I did with the lean-to with the toothpicks, and just made a frame that I could hot glue the fish to like they're drying. So I thought that was pretty cool. Once everything's dried up, I'm going to use a flat black spray paint to black bomb them, cover them all up. And then after that, I'll paint on a dark brown burnt umber to all the pieces to give it a nice brown base coat, right? So here what I'm going to do is add a lighter brown to the structure here. And I'll just paint that on. And I'm going to use a even lighter brown right on top of the wet, so it kind of blends in a little bit together. Gives a nice effect. So here we go. I've got the totem now, and doing the same kind of thing, just a kind of a woody brown. And once I get that painted on, I'll use the lighter brown kind of as a highlight. But I'm just going to mix it right into the wet paint. So pretty cool. Gives a nice effect. All right, looking good, looking good. All the details coming out. Very cool. All right, now I've got my lean-to here, doing the same kind of thing. And remember, it's got the kind of the moss on the back, but the inside is that kind of wood, you know, that kind of log wood there. So make sure I paint on the underside there. There's highlights. Very cool. Really bringing that detail out. There are a few places where the wood sticks through the moss there. So cool. All right, now I'm going to paint the little fishies. I'm going to paint them a green. And just paint them on there. Hit the other side too. I'm going to paint the moss. Got kind of a moss on the base. That's those pencil shavings that we put on there. And then the moss on the back, well, on the bottom here. This one, in this case, there's some on the bottom, and then on the top of the lean-to. Nice, nice. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of black, a watered down black, and I want to do some detail on the totem. I want that detail that I put into the foam core to really show up. So I'm going to kind of add some shadows into the detail. So I'll just kind of paint that with a small brush, thin brush. And it'll give a nice bit of shadowing in there, and make the detail really pop when this is done. So looking good. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, now I'm going to use a pearlescent. And the fishies are, you know, they have that kind of pearlescent sheen. So I'm going to use that on there. I'm going to water it down quite a bit, because I don't want to cover up the green color of the fishy, but I want to, you know, give it a nice pearlescent sheen. And just paint on each side. Very cool. Here we are at my table on game night, and here's a little island I did for the lizard folk, right? You can see the lean-tos, the drying fish rack. I've got the totem there. Really cool. One of my little campfires, my little tea light campfires in there. Very cool. Very cool. This is a nice little piece, nice little setup in the swamp. So there you go. Very cool. Lizard Man camp. Let's take a closer look at some of these items. Here's the totem, and a really nice accent to the camp, I think. Some nice detail, just super cheap to make, really easy. You can see that moss on the side, nice accent. So really cool, really cool. It's essentially just made out of junk, and I think it adds a really nice accent. Then the fish drying rack, another little nice accent. Basically just globs of hot glue on a piece of paper, glued to this, you know, this rack. And just the rack is just toothpicks with some hot glue on it to make them look like rough sticks. And just a really nice little thing that you can add to the camp. Give it some personality. And then the lean-tos, they were just really easy and super cheap to make. Take a closer look here. Got the moss on the ground there. The stick's holding it up on the back. I really love the pencil shaving technique because unlike traditional flocking where it can come off everywhere and be in your boxes and your table, this stuff isn't going to go anywhere. It's actually going to give strength to the piece. So I really like that glue pencil shaving technique. And it really does give the look of kind of a moss. So really cool and easy to do. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Lizard Man camp. Have fun. Hey Crafter, I hope you really enjoyed the video. If you did, give your DM Scotty a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And you can find me on Facebook. We got a great group on there, lots of projects. Also, if you like the vid, why not drop $1 in the tip jar? You can just click on the video and tip directly to DM Scotty. And if you want to participate further, you can join Patreon and get the Crafters Lair every month. It's a magazine I produce for my Patreon friends. And I want to say, last but not least, go forth and craft. Yeah. Have fun crafting, guys.
Roderick's in this beautiful forest, having such a nice day. Wait a minute, Scotty. Now, you just did a thing on swamps. You're not going to take me and put me in a swamp, are you? Don't do that DM thing on me. No. What? Oh, geez, Scotty, come on. Really? You're going to put me in the Lizard Man swamp? Ugh, I was having such a nice day in the other location.